Welcome to our presentation on breeds of horse as part of your horse identification course. We are going to be talking to you today about both breeds and types of horse and pony. There are so many different types of different breeds of horse, way too many to mention in this presentation, but we're just going to go through some of the most common ones that you'll come across in the UK. As you work through this presentation, I suggest that you have a pen and paper to take notes as you go. And if you need to pause this presentation at this point now to go and get that, that's absolutely fine. And once you've watched the presentation, do make sure that every horse you come across, you try to work out what breed or type they are, as this will help you to solidify the knowledge that you've gained in this presentation. So first of all, we're going to talk about breeds. The first breed that we're going to talk about is your thoroughbred. I'm sure that you're all aware of what a thoroughbred looks like. A fine breed of horse, originally bred for racing, usually between 15 and 17 hands. They have a well-defined and chiselled head with a long neck, a high wither that can make it quite difficult to fit a saddle to actually, and long legs. They're bred for agility and speed, and we tend to see quite a lot of them crossed with an Irish draught or a native breed that gives the thoroughbred a little bit more of a sort of sensible brain and better temperament for your everyday riding club horse. Next we have the warmblood. Now this is where you might need to pause the presentation as I go through the different types of warmblood, of which there are many. Some examples are a Belgian warmblood, Dutch warmblood, Trakehner, Hanoverian, Holsteiner and an Oldenburg. The aim when breeding warmblood horses was to produce high quality horses with correct conformation and movement for high performance. So they're really kind of high end in the performance side of things. They can be a bit quirky in their temperament, but that's not a given, and they're typically used for dressage and show jumping. Next we have one of my favourites, the Irish draught, and funnily enough this one originates from Ireland. The Irish draught was used as a working horse. It's a heavy breed of horse, and as I mentioned earlier, it's often crossed with lighter breeds such as the thoroughbred to produce hunter type and competition horses. Here we have a complete contrast, an Arab. This breed of horse originates from the Arabian Peninsula. These horses have a distinctive dished head shape, which you can't see too clearly in this picture, but it's usually very distinctive, and a high tail carriage. They're quite a fine build, however they're still quite tough and they're often used for endurance. Here we have the Shire Horse. Quite a lot of people, this is their favourite. This breed of horse is a draught horse, and traditionally they were popular for pulling brewery wagons that delivered ale to customers. Their average height is 17 hands. You wouldn't want one of these to tread on your foot. And their legs often have white stockings with long feathers. Next we have a Welsh, originally from Wales. There are 4 sections of Welsh breed, section A, B, C and D, which are all of various heights. Section A is up to 12 hands, section B is up to 13.2 hands, section C is between 12 hands and 13.2, but more of a cob type, so stockier. And section D is around 15 hands. That's what the one in this picture is, known as a Welsh Cob. Connemara ponies. We're on to the pony native breeds now. So a Connemara is again from Ireland, one of my favourite pony breeds. They've got great temperaments, typically between 13 hands and 14.2, and usually grey. And they're an excellent choice for a child's pony because of their good temperaments. Exmoor ponies from the Exmoor area. They're usually bay, and you can see in this picture they've normally got a mealy tan coloured muzzle. That's how you distinguish them. They're very tough and hardy and a good choice for a child's pony. Dartmoor ponies look similar to Exmoors, but smaller, so they're usually under 12.2. They're a tough, hardy pony from the Dartmoor area. Unfortunately, this poor pony's got his ears chopped off in this picture, but this is a New Forest pony from the New Forest, as the name describes. They tend to be slightly lighter weight, a bit finer than Exmoor or Dartmoor ponies. And they are a very good choice for a child's pony. They've got good temperament. This is your Dales, usually black with distinctive feathering on their legs. They are under 14 two hands. They are native to the northeast of England and are often used for driving. This is a Fell. Now it looks very similar to the Dales that you saw on the previous slide. These are slightly smaller, they're no bigger than 14 hands. They're very hardy and again used for riding and driving. And the last of our breeds in this presentation, this is your Shetland Pony. Very cute, can be very naughty, but they're good for children. They're from the Shetland Islands, north of Scotland, and they should not exceed 42 inches. So that's your breeds. Hope you got all that down. Next, we're going to move on to our types of horse. Now, it's good if you're unsure of the breed that your horse is, you can describe it as a type instead. So this is a good get out clause if you're not sure about their breed. First of all, we've got your hunter type, a fairly heavily built horse with a good amount of bone. These horses are often Irish draught type horses. They should be balanced so they're a comfortable ride when out hunting. You don't want a horse out hunting that's unbalanced, leaning on the bit, pulling your arms out their sockets. So a good, well-balanced, stocky horse that's comfortable to ride out hunting. Next we have your riding club horse, typically a thoroughbred cross with a native breed, a good all-rounder type, which might not have the best conformation, but should have a good temperament. Your pony club pony, so this could be one of the native breeds that we've already talked about, so your Dales, your Exmoor, your New Forest. Again, they should be a good all-rounder with a good temperament, so the pony will be safe for children. So if you see a pony but you're unsure which breed it is, you could just describe it as a pony club pony. Next we have your Cob, a stocky weight carrier, no bigger than 15.3. In showing they actually hog them, but that's not necessary unless you are showing them. Good, strong horse. They tend to be comfortable to ride, a nice short stride, so it's easy for people learning to ride on, and often you see cob horses in riding schools, etc., where people are learning to ride and get their balance. And our very last type of horse is our hack, a lightweight thoroughbred type, usually ranging between 14.2 and 15.3. Again, should be well balanced and are usually sort of thoroughbred crossed with something else, so that they're lightweight, typically used for sort of ladies. You can imagine them in period dramas, riding them side saddle across the woods. Yeah, so that's your hack. If you're not quite sure if it's thoroughbred or not, you could describe it as a hack. Well, thank you for listening to that. We hope that you've scribbled all your notes down, taken some notes. You're a bit clearer now on the breeds and types of horses, and hope you've enjoyed this presentation.